Good afternoon, students. Okay, what do you think? Hello, students. So actually, I am recording this video in the afternoon section, and that's why. Good afternoon. Okay. So we have discussed adsorption. We have discussed its type, chemical and physical. Okay. And now we are going to discuss one of the important isotherm. Okay. This is called as adsorption isotherm. So what is adsorption isotherm? Okay. Adsorption isotherm is a plot or a graph, okay, or a curve, okay, curve obtained when the amount of gas adsorbed by unit mass of adsorbent. Okay, amount of gas absorbed by unit mass of adsorbent is plotted with the pressure of gas at constant temperature. So whatever curves obtained at constant temperature, if we plot the amount of gas adsorbed by adsorbent versus pressure of the gas, that curves are called as adsorption isotherms. Okay, isotherm means constant, iso means similar. Okay, isomers, like that, isotherm, similar temperature. Okay, so if by keeping temperature constant, if we plot the graph of amount of gas absorbed on the adsorbent versus pressure of that particular gas, okay, whatever curves we have obtained, okay, that curves are called as adsorption isotherm. So one of such curves are studied by scientist Friedrich. And that's why these isotherms, adsorption isotherms of the gases are called as Friedrich adsorption isotherms. So I have drawn a particular curve. So what he did, he had taken the amount of the gas absorbed by the adsorbent on the y-axis, okay, and the pressure of gas on the x-axis, and it is observed that at a constant pressure, at a constant temperature, with increase in pressure, the adsorption, okay, the amount of adsorption increases, okay, it reaches its maximum, and then the saturation starts. Okay, furthermore, adsorption is not possible. So multi-layer formation, what we have talked about, multi-layer formation or the layer formation in the chemiabsorption. Once that layer is over, once that multi-layers, okay, once the attractive force between that particular adsorbent and adsorbate is over, that particular boundary, the curves goes for the saturation. You are getting the same amount of gas absorbed. Okay, whatever pressure it will be, or how much, if you increase the pressure, so you are not getting the different value for amount of gas absorbed. So like that he studied for different temperatures. Okay, and he observed that for each and every temperature, okay, for each and every constant temperature, first the absorption increases with increase in pressure, and then goes to the saturation. And from his study, okay, he given an equation, okay, and that equation is x by m is equal to k p raised to 1 by n, and this n is always greater than 1. N is always greater than 1, where x is amount of gas adsorbed, M is mass of adsorbent. K and N are constant. They are constant. And P is pressure of gas. So if we plot this x by n versus this p, we are getting this curve, and this curve, okay, each and every curve is called as adsorption isotherm. So this is the one adsorption isotherm at 194. This is another one at 244. This is third one for 273. So the curves which are plotted at a constant temperature. So in this case, we are saying that adsorption isotherm. So whenever we plot the pressure of a gas against the amount of gas adsorbed on the unit mass of a adsorbent, that curve we are going to call it as adsorption isotherm. Okay, so he given the Friendlich has given the equation which is called as x by m, which is equal to kp p raised to 1 by n, and n is always greater than 1. So he has given the equation to find out okay, the validity of this equation, or we can say that if from that equation only, or from that curve only, we can say that at a constant pressure, okay, so for example, consider this is pressure Z. So at this Z pressure, if you observe the amount of gas adsorbed, okay, so what will happen? Okay, if you observe these three curves and the three values for x by m, it is observed that at constant pressure, what it is, at a constant pressure, okay, the adsorption of the gas, decreases with increase in temperature. So if you are keeping pressure constant, okay, and you are changing the temperature, it is observed that, okay, from this plot only we can say that at 194 and the pressure, constant pressure Z, the value of x by m is much more higher, but at the higher temperature, that is 244 Kelvin, okay, the value of x by m is lower as compared to this, and at 273 Kelvin and same pressure Z, you are getting further low value for x by m. So from these values of x by m, we can directly say that the absorption of the gas, okay, on the adsorbent decreases with increase in temperature. Now to validate this adsorption isotherm, the equation which is given by Freundlich, what we can do, we will take the logarithm of the equation. Okay, so what we can write? We can write log x by m is equal to log k plus 1 by m log p. Okay, and to validate this equation, the isotherm, what we can do, we will plot the log x by m versus log p versus log p. If the values of log of x by m and log p gives a straight line, then we can say that this isotherm, the Freundlich isotherm, okay, adsorption isotherm is valid, otherwise it is invalid. And it is observed that the values, if we plot the values of this, okay, the values are giving straight line, okay, intersecting at the y-axis, intersecting on the y-axis. The intercept of y-axis gives the value of log of k, while the slope of this line, slope of the straight line, gives value of y by n. Okay, so now we are getting straight line for this plot. Okay, and that's why this Freundlich adsorption isotherm is valid. Okay, now the values for 1 by n. Okay, so what we are saying, n is greater than 1. It is observed that if the values are between 0.1 to 0.5, okay, 0.1 to 0.5, the equation holds true. Okay, the equation of x by m is equal to k p raised to 1 by m, or the equation log x by m log is equal to log k plus 1 upon n log p holds true. Okay, if values are not in between these two values, okay, so the equation does not hold true for the higher pressure. So the equation has a limit. Okay, equation has a limits of certain pressures. So the isotherm can be studied up to certain pressure level, or limited range of pressure. So equation holds true for limited range of pressure. So not to very low pressure. Okay, this isotherm is going to be valid, or not at a very high pressure. This is not going to be valid. Okay, so now if we say that value of n is equal to 0, okay, the value of n is equal to 0, so what we can say that, look over here, we have an equation x by m k into p raised to 1 by n. Okay, now if value of n is equal to 0. Okay, if you are getting this is 0, okay, what will be this equation become? X by m is equal to k into p raised to 1 by 0, means we can say p raised to 0, okay, and any value, okay, x raised to 0 is equal to 1. So our equation 1 by x by m equal to k. Our equation will become x by m is equal to k, and what we have written, k is nothing but a constant. K is nothing but constant. So if the value of n is equal to 0, what we can say that x by m is equal to k or constant, and this suggests that the adsorption of a gas is independent of pressure. So pressure does not going to affect, the pressure of gas is not going to affect the adsorption of a gas on the adsorber whenever n is equal to 0. N is equal to 0. If n is equal to 1, okay, now if n is equal to 1, okay, n is equal to 1, then what will be the equation? X by m is equal to k p raised to 1 by 1. Why? Because n is equal to 1. So this equation becomes x by m is equal to k into p. Okay, but k is constant. Okay, k is constant, and therefore what we can write, x by m is directly proportional to p. Directly proportional to p. So the what we can write, the adsorption of gas is directly proportional to pressure of gas. So this adsorption is directly proportional to pressure of gas, or adsorption directly varies with the pressure of gas. If you increase the pressure of the gas, the amount of gas absorbed is going to increase. If you decrease the pressure of the gas, the amount of gas absorbed is going to decrease. So this is regarding what? This is regarding the adsorption isotherm and Freundlich adsorption isotherm. Okay. Now this is the what we are writing equation. This is for the system which is called as solid gas. Okay, so we have taken adsorber as a solid and adsorbent as a gas. So if we try to adsorb a material from the solution phase, okay, if we try to adsorb the material or a solute from its solution, okay, then what we have to consider, for the solution we are not going to consider the pressure. So instead of pressure, what we are going to consider? We are going to consider the concentration of solution. So what we can write? We can write the equation for solution, adsorption from solution. So for that, instead of pressure, this pressure replaced by concentration from C, then we can write the equation as x by m, that is amount of gas absorbed by the adsorbent, is equal to k into C raised to 1 by n. Okay, once again your n is greater than 1, then we can write the equation as log x by m, okay, is equal to log k plus 1 by n log of c, that is concentration. So from this equation we can say that, okay, from this equation what we can say that whenever your n is equal to 0, okay, what you can say the adsorption is independent of concentration. Okay, adsorption from the solution is independent of concentration, and whenever this n is equal to 1, what you can say that the adsorption of a solute from the solution is directly proportional to concentration. So if you increase the concentration of a solute in the solution, adsorption is going to increase. If you decrease the concentration of a solute in the solution, the adsorption is going to decrease. Okay, but this adsorption in the solution depends upon certain things. Okay, what those are? Okay, the extent of adsorption decreases with increase in temperature. So keep in mind that what we have discussed in case of gas. Okay, if we increase the temperature at a constant pressure, what we have observed? We have observed that the amount of gas adsorbed is decreases. The same thing will happen for the solution also. If you increase the temperature of a solution, the extent of adsorption is going to be decreased. Okay, the adsorption increases with increase in surface area, no doubt. Okay, if we increase the surface area of adsorbent, okay, if we increase the surface area of adsorbent, the adsorption is going to be increased, no problem regarding this. Okay, the adsorption depends upon the concentration of solute. So what I am telling is the same thing. Okay, whenever n is equal to 0, it is independent of concentration. But for the solution, okay, whenever we are saying that for the solution, what we can say that, okay, we are not going to consider n is equal to 0. We are going to consider n is equal to 1. Okay, and for that what we can say, the adsorption is directly proportional to C, that is concentration. So adsorption of a solute on the solute depends upon the concentration. If you are increasing concentration of solute, the adsorption increases. If you are decreasing the concentration of solute, the adsorption is going to be decreased. Then the fourth point is the adsorption of a solute from a solution is depends upon nature of adsorbent and the nature of solute also. So both are responsible to increase or decrease the adsorption, that is x by m. So these are the things regarding the adsorption. Okay, so along with that, in your textbook they have given the different application of adsorption. So adsorption, the phenomenon of adsorption is largely used, okay, where it is used in the production of high vacuum. Okay, so if you try to make a vacuum, so for example, consider this is the one of the container, and you have connected it into vacuum pump to create a vacuum. Okay, now after connecting this or after removal entire air from this container, okay, some amount, okay, very small amount of air will remain inside this container, very small amount. But if we want a 100% vacuum or very high vacuum, okay, we have to remove this small percentage of air also. Okay, at that time, okay, what we can use? We can use charcoal. Okay, we can use charcoal. Okay, so if we use the charcoal, okay, what happens? The entire amount of air can be removed from that particular container and we will get a high vacuum. So this is one of the application. Then gas mask. Okay, this is very important application of adsorption. Okay, so what it is? Gas masks. So all of you know that we are using that N95. Okay, N95 बहुत मार्केटिंग था इसको. Okay, इसको बहुत मार्केट था और आज भी है. Okay, क्यों? For this corona. Okay, that for corona purpose what we are using? We are using N95 or we are using a homemade mask. Okay, so what is gas mask? These gas masks are used by the workers which are working in the coal mines. Coal mine. So the workers working in the coal mine, okay, they continuously exposed to very poisonous gases. Okay, very poisonous gases, and that's why the workers are provided with this type of mask, gas mask, which consists activated charcoal. Activated charcoal, and this activated charcoal, what happens whenever that worker inhale the air in the coal mine, the activated charcoal which is mixed with this gas mask, okay, adsorb all the poisonous gases from that air, okay, and only non-toxic gases are inhaled by the worker. So the adsorption phenomenon is largely used in the production of this gas mask or use of this gas mask. Okay, it is also used for controlled humidity. So if you observe the weighing balances which are present in the gold shop, okay, they have kV. Check out this. Balances are present in the kV. So kV में आता है, okay, and in that kV at one of the corner there is what? Pouch of silica gel. Silica gel. So what the silica gel makes? This silica gel absorbs all the humidity from this compartment. Whenever the door open, door close, air goes inside and outside. Okay, and with that air, some amount of humidity also goes. Okay, to absorb this humidity, we are using silica gel. This humidity-free area making. Okay, this is also based on what? Your adsorption. Removal of coloring matter from the sugar. Okay, or from the solution. So from sugar the coloring matter is removed by using animal charcoal. The bed of animal charcoal is used for that, and the juice, colored juice is transferred from that animal charcoal bed, and you will get a clear juice. Okay, for heterogeneous catalysis we have curve across this. Okay, H2Ni. Okay, V2O5, iron. Okay, iron, manganese. Okay, so these are some catalysts what we have learned. Okay, in the preparation of H2SO4, in the preparation of ammonia. Okay, in the hydrogenation reaction of alkynes. Okay, these catalysts are heterogeneous catalysis. Okay, separation in the inert gases. The inert gases can be separated by using the adsorption. In the fourth pruning method, okay, the weightibility of a pine oil, okay, which is used to remove the sulfur content from the ore. Okay, So this is used in the extraction of metals. Adsorption indicators. Some of the indicator like eosine and fluorescein. Okay, they will show color whenever they came across the silver chloride precipitate. Okay, so this adsorption precipitation is used as an indicator. Okay, in the chromatography. Okay, the chromatography is one of the technique which is based on the adsorption, and it has a large application in analytical and industrial field. So these are some applications, and this is regarding the adsorption, isotherm adsorption of a gas and adsorption of a solute from the solution. So thank you. We will meet in the next lecture.